Our next speaker is Kevin Guthrie of ITHAKA.
That was scary. I'm actually going to be talking about technology, a little bit more benevolent take on it and its impact on education. Education is critically important in today's day and age, and both to our personal well-being and to the well-being of our society. It's the gateway to opportunity, and it's critical for a well-functioning democratic society. In the digital and information age, advanced learning and higher education is becoming more important than ever. When we think about that, how are we doing? Not so great. The statistics are not that good. The average 6-year graduation rate at our 4-year colleges and universities is 60%. At our community colleges, the 3-year graduation rate is only 32%. And 60% of people between the ages of 18 and 24 are not in college at all. Education is important. Who is this impacting? The impact of these challenges is especially true on those who need the education the most. People from low and middle income families, our military veterans coming back from war, our prison population, for whom it has been shown that even the modest exposure to education significantly impacts the rate at which prisoners end up back in prison after they've served their time. So although there are many contributing factors to this situation, including a less than great K-12 system, the fact is that for many families, colleges are just too expensive and too inconvenient. For students who graduate and incur debt, the average debt is $29,000. For those who don't complete, the figure is lower, but of course, since they didn't complete, the risk of default is higher. These non-traditional college students are increasingly the norm. 36% of students in undergraduate institutions now are over 25. They have jobs and they have lives. At ITHAKA, we have 400 dedicated people working to help students overcome these barriers. Our premise is simple: less expensive access to education, more access to education, better and cheaper. Despite these scary statistics, it is not time to be discouraged. In fact, it's time to be hopeful. There are many reasons to be hopeful. Advances in computer and network technologies are making access to education greater than it ever has been before. Companies and organizations like ours are using computers, data, and networks to increase the access to education and to accelerate education and the learning experiences of students. I'd like to tell 3 stories that demonstrate the impact of technologies. One of them is one of our services, Democratizing Knowledge, and 2 are from case studies by our group called ITHAKA S&R in improving learning outcomes and student success and lowering costs. So first, let me talk about Jstor. Some of us were fortunate to be involved in Jstor back in 1995, before the World Wide Web, before 3 Ws meant anything at all. We had this crazy idea to digitize academic journals and put them online. The service now has 11,000 institutions around the world in 170 countries accessing the database millions of times. 1,300 institutions get free access in Africa, and 3,000 secondary schools now have access all over the world. And the issue there is that these were collections that were only available at the most prestigious and exclusive research universities. They're now being accessed millions of times all over the world. We're building on that platform. Just down the street, our Jstor, our ITHAKA office on Liberty Street, our team is working on building a platform that will include new kinds of content, art images, primary source materials. And we're also creating enabling infrastructure so that colleges and universities can upload their special collections into the environment. All of this to create an environment where students and researchers can do their work easily and accelerate research and learning. So the second story is about a place called Georgia State University, and this is about student success. We talked earlier about low graduation rates. Georgia State has improved their graduation rate for 6 years by 68%. How do they do it? They do it through a combination of technology and personal intervention. So they use predictive analytics to identify when students are struggling and intervene with counselors early and often. They also develop communities that help the students understand what pathways they need to follow to earn their degrees. So they intervene early and they help the students get by faster. This is amazing how much progress they've made because they've been working with the toughest population. 58% of their students have family incomes less than $50,000 a year, and 1/3 of their students are first-generation college attending. So they're using these technologies combined with personal intervention to make a huge impact on the students at their institution. My third and final example is about lowering costs, and it's about Georgia Tech University and its online degree in computer science, a master's in computer science program. They started this program 5 years ago, and they've had tremendous success. They made a commitment at the beginning that the curriculum and the degree would be the same. You would get the same credential online as you get in the residential experience. They do that, and the cost of the degree is just $7,000. The MS in computer science is only $7,000. So they are demonstrating that technology can be used to lower the cost of education. How are they doing that? Scale. So in the 5 years they've had the program, they've had 6,000 students enroll. What that means is they can spread the cost of the infrastructure, things like threaded discussion lists, interactions with faculty, interactions with TAs, and the development of artificial intelligence tools to more and more students. More students means more data, and more data means better content and better artificial intelligence. Like the automated tutor that they've developed, they call her Jill Watson. And Jill Watson was one of the favorite tutors for last semester. The students say she answers the questions instantly and she doesn't judge. So despite these statistics and the worry about higher education, I remain optimistic. These three stories, these three examples are what can be accomplished when technology, motivation, mission, and innovation come together. It's possible to have an impact. It's possible for it to be better and cheaper, and it has great impact on people. I hope those of you who are trekking will consider trekking on down to the ITHAKA offices and see our work and see how we're working to help everyone get access to education, not just the privileged, but everyone around the world. Thank you very much.